Welcome to the Solomon Show. Thank you so much for watching. I hope everyone is doing well. On today's panel, we have your host, Solomon. Now let's get right into it. Patient care services. Experienced caregivers. Safety first. Peace of mind. These are all provided by healthcare workers, but where are all the employees? Why can't I get an appointment? How come nobody answers the phone? In today's special episode, we're going to dive into the truth about healthcare heroes and what is going on behind the scenes. We begin with breaking news.
Everybody, so welcome to my emergency episode. As I've said in the past, I really don't like to talk about work. I don't like to talk about the medical field stuff because the show is meant to be my creative outlet. But something happened yesterday, and I feel like I have, in a way, created a platform now. And so I want to use it for something good. And I want to create awareness so that way we can move this world in a more positive direction to get it back to how things used to be back in the good old days. So I want to start with the introduction with, okay, first of all, I'm wearing my white coat, yes, but I will take it off for the rest of the episode because we are experiencing a heat wave and it's super hot. Wearing 4 layers and a tie is just too much. So I want to go wear for the introduction, but I don't mean any disrespect by taking it off. To my fellow healthcare workers, it's just way too hot. So anyways, as an introduction, I want to make it clear that the media has made it seem like there's a shortage of healthcare workers, but the reality is that is not the case. The reality is everybody is leaving healthcare. Okay? Why is that? I will say for myself, I can't speak for others, but for myself and listening to what other people say, they're tired of being abused. Either being abused by people up top in charge, meaning overworked, quotas, impossible demands. You have one person doing 4, 5, now 6 people's workloads. Before the pandemic, there were rules, very set rules, provider to patient ratios, whatnot. Things were organized, things made sense. But ever since the pandemic, everything got waived, right? Emergency state. Okay, no. Instead of, 1 nurse to 4 patients, 1 nurse to 2 patients, let's just do 1 nurse to 10 because we're so overworked, And then the people up top were like, wow, 1 person can do 10 people's work? That's a lot of profit. That's really good. Let's just keep it that way, right? So there's no rules, no regulations. People are getting burnt out. It is just a mess. And meanwhile, patients are getting neglected, and in the grand scheme of things, patients are getting harmed, right? They're not being treated for what they need. They're being neglected. They're being misdiagnosed because people are just too rushed or not diagnosed at all, and unfortunately being harmed, So that's one aspect of it, being abused by upstairs. The second part is being abused by the public. Yes, I said it. The truth is the truth. We are here trying to help you. By the way, spoiler alert, I do have an upcoming Karen series coming out. Yes, a Karen series, and I will talk more about this stuff. But I'm just going to keep it in general and say that we are getting tired of being abused by the public. We are here doing our best, trying to help you. We took an oath to help people, and that's what we're trying to do. But realize too that we are human. Like, we need to sleep. We are stressed out. I work 12-hour shifts. From when I start to when I stop, my mind is constantly going boom, boom, boom. There is no time to stop because at any minute I could get a phone call from somebody asking me a question. I need to be able to respond. It could be anything about anything, right? I have different healthcare providers contacting me, patients contacting me, anything. Boom, I have to be on constant alert for 12 hours straight, okay? And there's no breaks. You get one 30-minute break for every 12 hours you work. So imagine that. And then you have people bothering you when you're trying to eat. Technically, I don't need to be eating as much as I do. So fine, go ahead, interrupt me. Fine, I guess, thank you. But at the same time, too, I do need energy, okay, guys? But in any case, yes, we are trying our best to help people. But it's come to the crossroads now where it's like, we need to help ourselves too. Like, we need to rest, we need to eat. It's very hard when you're 12 hours of just boom, 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 to come home and try to like instantly wind down to go to sleep because you're doing it again tomorrow. Okay? I apologize too if I look really tired and run down. It's because I am. I have been working all over the place. Why? Because there's a shortage of healthcare workers. No, there's not. It's because everybody up and left. So I'm trying to help out different areas, far away areas, okay? And in some cases, I've been kind of misled into, oh, it's just over here, but actually it's like all the way at the bottom. Yeah, like almost different state bottom. And I'm like, well, it'd be nice if you would have told me that. But in any case, I'm just saying that things have kind of changed. And don't believe what you see and hear that there's a shortage. There's no shortage. It's we're tired. We're really tired. When you hear, and I've been hearing it a lot in the past month, and it breaks my heart when you hear that a healthcare worker actually ended themselves. I've heard at least 3 cases now in just this past month. Okay? It's not good because when you think about it, we're constantly being abused, burnt out, tired. Like, it causes depression. And it's not okay. Like, we are here trying to help you. Like, guys, wake up. You know? If we're not here to help you, what's going to happen? It's going to be what it is right now. And then you get mad. Oh, how come I have to wait so long? How come my appointment got canceled? How come my appointment got moved? Because everybody's leaving. Why? You want to record yourself and play back to you what you just said to that girl over there? Made her cry at the front desk? Hello? Throwing things at employees? Hello? It's crazy. So, and for those of you who still want to go into healthcare, if you're in it to help people, I applaud you because I was in the same boat too. But to be 100% honest, I'm just telling you it's a very rough ride. It's not like before, and you need to think. I'm being 100% honest with you, okay? If you want to get married, if you want to have kids, if you want to have a family, you need to think about that going to healthcare. It's, unless things take a drastic change, but it's very difficult to come home and not carry those feelings with you from your long work hours, you know? And I would hate for you to like take that on your kids, your spouse, or whatever. It's very rough. But I mean, there are other options and opportunities to help people, but just really be aware of what it's going to entail. And for those of you who are out there to join healthcare for the check, guess what? You're in big trouble because when you come out, you owe hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loans. And let me tell you, with the healthcare environment right now, if you don't have motivation to help people, you are going to get eaten alive. So if you're in it for the money, honey, do something else because this is going to be the biggest mistake of your life. Just saying. But without further ado, I am going to take this off before I pass out, and we will go on with the episode.
Now it's time for
All right, now that I can breathe better, I just want to say that since this is an emergency episode, I might as well just spring some stuff on you guys, right? Since we're talking about what's going on with the world and blah, blah, blah. Well, I am very proud to say that it first started off as kind of like, oh, it would be a cute theme to do a Pride special. So I've been working on it. And as I was working on it, it was blossoming and blooming into something much bigger and much more meaningful than I intended for it to be. So I am super proud of that, but even more so, literally the day I finalized the episode, this series, that was literally the day when the event happened in Berlin, where somebody took a car and purposefully ran over a bunch of people during a Pride event. And that kind of opened my eyes because honestly, I'll talk about more in the Pride episode, but basically I never really thought that Pride was, I guess, I don't mean to be rude, I don't mean to be offensive, but I just didn't think that Pride was a big deal. At least not for me, in the sense that, like, we need to go out and parade and da 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 da. I explained this more in there, but I just want to say that after filming that special and that event happening in Berlin, I'm like, you know what? I understand now what Pride is all about. And I understand now why people do it. And they're fighting the fight. Because in my mind, I've seen the past. I've seen where it's gone. With people being much more open and whatnot to reality. But it seems like the world is going full circle backwards again, because why are we having killings like this? Like, hello, people, what's going on here? And we're in the middle of war and stuff. Like, hello, why are we starting this kind of drama? But in any case, even more proud of that special coming up, so stay tuned. But yeah, just some things to look forward to. So stick with me, you guys. I got some really cool stuff up my sleeve that I'm looking forward to sharing with you. But let's continue on. So, what prompted me to make this emergency episode is because something happened yesterday that really bothered me to my core. And I didn't really know what to make of it just yet because it was such a big pill to swallow. So, I'm going to go through things chronologically so I can kind of catch you up to speed to yesterday's events. So let's go rewind a little bit to once upon a time earlier in the year. So I'm sure you guys are all aware of who Alex Preddy is. If you don't, what have you been doing? Where have you been? Google it. So If you need hit pause, Google it. But in any case, somebody made the comment that, and apparently more than one person has this line of thinking, and I'm not going to go into the details about how it's 100% false. You can Google that too, whatnot. I don't want to waste time talking about ridiculousness, but I will say that there is something going around, that has been going around, saying that Alex Preddy basically was a bad person, okay? A terrorist, okay? So anyways, somebody went on a healthcare worker's social media page and started bashing Alex Preddy. And I like to stay out of things, don't get in people's business, whatnot, but I could not keep my mouth shut. So I had to say something or I was going to never sleep again, okay? So this is what I wrote. I put, I'm just curious if you work in healthcare. I know some people do it for the money, but some people do it because they actually care about people and want to make a difference. They took their oath to whatever healthcare profession they chose seriously. That nurse, I'm talking about Alex Preddy, was one of those people who, like myself, want to make the world a better place. Do you know what it's like to have to move out and isolate yourself from everybody because you didn't want to risk giving them COVID during the pandemic? Do you know what it's like to have underlying health conditions since you were born, but you put that aside for the greater good to help vaccinate or treat COVID-positive patients? And some of them would even refuse to wear a mask too. Do you know what it's like to hear that one of your coworkers, fellow colleagues, or friends who work in healthcare have passed away from COVID because they were exposed on the job? Do you know what it's like to put your life on the line every day, not knowing if you're going to die? Do you know what it's like to go for years having to celebrate your birthday or your mom's birthday, who you are incredibly close with, through a glass wall because you would not be able to live with yourself if you got them sick? Or after a few years of this, do you know what it's like to hear about your fellow healthcare workers having heart attacks on the job because of the insane stress from the possible workloads? Or the scenario where a healthcare worker has to submit themselves into a psych ward? Or the saddest scenario of all, when a healthcare worker goes home and ends their own life. In healthcare, this is what we have gone through. This is why the burnout in healthcare is such a serious issue. The statistics are there. People are leaving healthcare, and yet, this nurse, Alex Preddy, still put his life on the line. In the end, he tried to help a stranger. He didn't have to, but he chose to help a stranger, who could have been your mom, your family member, your friend, your spouse, a stranger. His last words were, "Are you okay?" He is a true healthcare worker. Alex Preddy is a hero. Alright, guys, so one thing about me is that when I get really overwhelmed with either an event or some tragedy or something, I like to write, whether it be music, whether it be stories, whether it be poetry. Just that's how I do it. I channel my thoughts onto paper, right? So this event happened yesterday, and thank God I was so exhausted because I was actually able to sleep. But this morning my mind was kind of in limbo. So I started writing. So that's this morning. I'm going to read you what I wrote, and then we will get to where I go from here. Okay? So this morning, very early morning, when I should be sleeping, and thank God Gabriel is out of the country, because if you're here right now, he would be giving me a very hard time because he's like, you've been working too much, you need to sleep, you need to rest, da 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 da. And yes, I know, and I told him to. I said, I will take it easy today, but this happened yesterday, so I can't until I get this down and out into the world, because, yeah, you'll see. All right, so here goes. In the very early hours of the day, this is what I wrote. Story of the day. Yesterday, the doctor was helping a family in the clinic. The doctor had been helping this entire family for almost 10 years. One of the men asked the doctor if there was anything else that they needed. The doctor said flu shots will be available at the end of the month. The doctor also said that hopefully a new COVID vaccine will be out at the same time. The same man said, I'm not getting that. The doctor was puzzled. This was the same family that pleaded to get in without an appointment for the COVID vaccine during the pandemic. The same family that would line up before the clinic even opened to try to do a walk-in for boosters. The same man said, and I quote, Fauci got indicted. I hope he goes to jail, end quote. I honestly don't know what kind of look the doctor gave the man, but the man immediately put his head down in shame. I'm assuming it was beyond the look of doom. I'm assuming it was equivalent to the iconic moment in Diablo 4 when Lilith scolds her child and calls him an ungrateful maggot. During the same 12-hour work shift, the doctor heard that multiple pharmacies in the area were sold out of Paxlovid. As a side note, earlier this year, another patient from another family said that Alex Preddy was a terrorist and that he got fired from his job for harming patients. The doctor didn't sleep that night. The 12-hour work shift concluded. The doctor was grateful to have made it through the day okay. On the drive home, the doctor thought, Fauci isn't just a healthcare hero, he's a freaking angel. He dedicated his entire life to help saving lives. I want to retire as soon as possible. I would not want to be working at Fauci's age. I think if Fauci goes to jail, it will be time to hang up my white coat. At least in the US.
Now it's time for another quote of the day.
So I'm going to give you a minute to let that marinate, because I've sat on that probably for a good hour or two this morning and just really trying to sort through my thoughts and everything. So, some more spoilers. I was thinking about an upcoming series that I have planned for the show about heroes, right? Because, I was thinking before the pandemic, healthcare workers, well, when I was little, healthcare workers were super respected. You trusted the doctor, you trusted the nurse, you trusted the healthcare team, you respected them. My mom drilled in my head, these are people that work very hard to be very well educated to help take care of you. So you need to be nice to them, you need to respect them, right? That's the way I was raised. And then as an adult, healthcare workers were still liked. But then that started to change, right? Once customer service crept in the picture. Remember, there's the Karen series coming up. Customer service kicked in. That changed the scope of everything. Then the pandemic happened, and yay, we're healthcare workers, we're healthcare heroes. I would have random people giving me pins, hand sanitizers, thank you, healthcare worker, we love you, da da da, all this stuff, la 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 la, right? Yay. And I was like, thanks, guys. Like, I really appreciate it. Random people coming up to me, thank you for all that you do, for saving lives, for putting your life on the line, for helping us, da 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 da. Right? And I hear stories from colleagues during the pandemic and even now. Like in the pandemic, people will get yelled at, screamed at, things thrown at them. You're killing people with the vaccine. Why are you vaccinating people? Why are you giving them the medicine? You're killing people. Like I said, I don't like to talk about work stuff, but I'm going to jump around. I'm just going to say that, guys, we need to zoom out and look at the big picture, okay? There's a lot of details, a lot of stuff, but if you really zoom millions of light years out and look at Earth, look at people, it's nothing but hatred. It's all hatred now, okay? It's crazy. It's all nothing but hate, right? I'm only gonna tell you one. That's it. That's all you get. If you want more, let me know. Maybe I'll do another episode. I don't know. I gotta think about it. But like I said, I don't like talking about work. I will tell you one thing I heard during the pandemic. That's all you get from me, okay? This is a big name person, big time person, top of the ladder. This isn't some little guy, okay? We built up a friendship, whatnot. He's very, a macho man, but I've helped out his family, whatnot. He has my trust as his healthcare provider. So he asked me, I want to get your opinion on the COVID vaccine. What do you think? And I said, well, what do you mean? And he said, well, there's all these conspiracy theories. And I'm just thinking to myself, oh no, what are you going to do? And I said, like what? My bad, but that's fine, whatever. I like to learn, He goes, with all these hate crimes going on, with all the black people attacking Asian people, and this vaccine is DNA, right? So the people that are running this country, they're using the vaccine for mind control. They're implanting chips to make one race hate another race. I'm going to say that again. I'm going to say it again. Because I almost fell off my stool, okay? He goes, the people in charge are implanting chips into the black people to use mind control to make them hate and attack Asian people, making one race hate another. And I said, I'm going to make it very simple for you, okay? I've been doing this a long time, okay? And during the pandemic, I have seen a lot of people die, okay? And if not die, I've seen a lot of people end up in extremely crazy situations that myself personally, I wouldn't want to live anymore like that. I wouldn't want to be blown up in a balloon size on dialysis, whatnot. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want, well, let's just keep it simple. Let's just say I've seen a lot of really sad things, okay? And I've also seen that this vaccine has saved lives. So I would totally recommend it, okay? I said for me, I'm not gonna lie, at the beginning, I wanted to read more, I wanted to da. But a lot of my friends that work in the hospital, they're like, Solomon, you have underlying health conditions. You don't have time to play around, okay? You need to get the shot like right now. And so I did. Okay, one last side note. I don't know if you guys know who Shania Twain is. If not, oh my gosh, I love her to death. I didn't know this, but during the pandemic, she put out an album. I didn't know that she has asthma like me. But she literally almost didn't make it. Like, her story is crazy. She wrote a song about it too, and it just really scared me. I'm like, oh my gosh, it can really happen to anybody, even Shania Twain, you know? So, yeah, that guy told me something so crazy, and I've heard stuff like this all along, all throughout.
Okay. Generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger. I do not shrink from this responsibility. I welcome it. I do not believe that any of us would exchange places with any other people or any other generation. The energy, the faith, the devotion which we bring to this endeavor will light our country and all who serve it. And the glow from that fire can truly light the world. And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. My fellow citizens of the world, ask not what America will do for you, but what together we can do for the freedom of man. Finally, whether you are citizens of America or citizens of the world, ask of us here the same high standards of strength and sacrifice which we ask of you. With a good conscience, our only sure reward, with history the final judge of our deeds, let us go forth to lead the land we love, asking His blessing and His help, but knowing that here on earth, God's work must truly be our own.
So anyways, going back to what I was originally talking about, I can't speak for others, but I can only speak for myself. So, with Fauci, for me, he is a hero. He has lived through, help to guide, to treat, to lead us healthcare workers through so many different crazy disease states, right? Crazy worldwide pandemic, whatever conditions. For me, with the pandemic, that's good enough for me for one lifetime, okay? This guy's been through multiple things like this, and he's still doing it to the end. Like, he is a real hero. And it's like he's being made out to be a villain. That literally broke my heart. It's like, what am I doing? Like, how do we go from being people that are educated, that dedicate our lives to helping people, to healthcare heroes, to now we're the enemy? It's like, what? And people are making all these crazy comments about him, and it's just like, are you going to say that about Mother Teresa? Are you going to say that about Gandhi? Are you going to say that about Martin Luther King? Like, what is going on here? Suddenly the heroes are the villains? If you haven't played Diablo 4, I really recommend it. The story is just amazing. I love Maleficent, the movies and stuff. Like, it's my thing. But let me tell you, the Diablo 4 story is Maleficent on steroids. Angelina Jolie, now I'm scared. I hope Maleficent 3 is really good, like the first two, because Diablo 4 has just blown the amazingness out of the water. So I don't know. Let's see what happens. But in any case, yeah, it's like the heroes are becoming the villains now. Meanwhile, you have people running around doing unspeakable, disgusting stuff to children. But nobody's jumping on them like the way we're jumping on Fauci. It's like, hello? So in any case, I was feeling super overwhelmed this morning and yesterday, mentally.
Now it's time. It's time for Solomon's Words of Wisdom, Healthcare Edition.
All right, so for today's words of wisdom, as you all know, I do not like to leave anything on a negative note. And I have a very nice positive note today. So I was feeling very overwhelmed, and so I thought about it. Past heroes, right? They went through a lot of things like this. They took a lot of heat, right? But in the end, they never gave up. And I had to think about that. I have to remember that. It's very inspiring. Another spoiler coming up. I do have a series on heroes because growing up, my mom made sure that my brother and I, read books about famous people, right? That were good people that did things with their lives because she thought it's important for us to have good people to look up to, right? Thomas Edison, Lucille Ball, the list goes on and on. And I think that's really important. So I was thinking back on some of my heroes in life, and I was thinking, they didn't give up. They sure as heck wouldn't want me to give up. So I'm not giving up. Not just that, but I think that with all this poison going around, it's okay to react. It's okay to get mad. It's okay to get frustrated. It's okay to have your moment. But make it a moment, not a turning point, not the end, right? It's a moment. You take that and you flip it, right? I've been all charged up, worked up, and now I'm like, you know what? I'm going to release it, but in a positive light. So I'm going to grind extra hard on this show, and I'm going to keep putting out positive, good material that I think will help people out there, because that is how we're going to turn it around. That's how we're going to beat the hatred, is with positivity and with love. Because you know what? Glitter makes everything better is what I always like to say. So let's sparkle on, people, and keep it going, keep it moving, keep being good to one another, love each other, and we can do this together. We can do this together. If you think about it, in the past, right, the world was a much better place, right? People were a lot nicer and stuff. But guess what? We're still out there. It's just all these haters, these evil ones. They're trying to divide us all, but we're all there. We just have to extend our arm out and link up and hold hands. Like, we are here to stay. Don't give up. Like, we're not going anywhere, mother effers. Like, we work hard to get to where we are, to be where we are. So all this hatred and evil stuff, this is new. This is new. We've been here. We paid our dues. So you need to GTFO. Like, this is our world. Bye. Either get with the program or skedaddle. Go find another planet. Go find Project Hail Mary, okay? But leave us alone. No, this is our world. That's the attitude we gotta have. So, sparkle on, and I will see you guys next time. Take care and be kind.
Remember, as healthcare workers, we are here to help. So help us to help you. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I appreciate your support, and I appreciate you taking the time to hear me out as a healthcare worker. We are really trying our best to do what we can do in these times, but it's become extra challenging, so please bear with us. That's it for this episode. Thank you so much for all your love and support. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget to always be